YouTube up and running. See if anybody's hanging out. Oh, good. We're live there. All right. What's going on? Patreon. What's up? All right. It's okay. Everybody's very, very close. Close enough. We'll call it good. Big Friday deal. What's up? Real Talk with your humble host, Keith motherfucking Walker. In the house, bringing it live. All right. So, hope things are going well on your Friday. Hopefully, if you're working, they cut you loose early today. Go get a half day off. Enjoy that. Start your weekend early, right? If you're bored, though, you get off early and you get some time on your hands. You could go read a little bit of your book. What do you mean you don't have one? That's just silly. At this point of the game, hit me up. Hit the website up. This is where I'm going to start. Advertising my own shit. How about that? Right out, goof around with it. Things come up or to add to it, but it's very cool right now. So, www.keithmfwalker.com. It's a thing. Go check it out. Links to everything. There's some tidbits, pointers, self-help stuff, like little memos, some stuff I've written, some stuff I've stolen. Shit happens. Oops, right? Everything's stolen in one form or another at this point of humanity. So I don't have any problem with that. It's just yet another platform to move good information, as we are all players in a team sport of life. And so sharing that, but again, all the links, so you can go through the entire history of all of the live stream stuff that's been going on. That channel gets you to, again, all of the platforms, so you can get caught up. If you wish, just continue on from here on out. Links to Recovery Unfiltered, the original project that Charlene and I put together, and which is a fun watch. You should check it out. We got another episode coming up in Tuesday in a week and a half. I don't have a calendar, but check your calendar. More details. Keep you posted on it, but you're going to want to check it out anyway. So what we're doing here today, what are we doing here today? Today's episode I call 1, 2, 3 cha-cha-cha. And so are we learning how to dance? Well, I don't know. The dance of life, right? But no, anyway, it's again, I like to this has been a nice opportunity to kind of expand on what I've been doing in the morning, again, via all the platforms every morning for the last 121 days. I've been reading a page out of my book. So those of you who are like too cheap to buy it and too lame to read it, you've been able to listen to it a page at a time. Again, if you want to punish yourself that much, you can go back through like all the episodes, 120 of them, and hear the whole book in the audio version. That's not professional. But anyway, in short, what I've been doing. Those are short video clips because I do it on, I started doing it on TikTok because I was trying to figure out that platform to see if I was going to catch a viral moment or whatever the fuck happens with all this stuff, right? So, and because they're usually pretty short attention span, and they only give you 10 minutes max anyway. They've been simply like probably 3 to 5 minute clips. I read a page. I talk about it for a very short period of time, and that's it. The opportunity here again is this is I can sit here and fucking go forever as far as I know. I have no idea if there's a time limit on any of this shit. It's obviously the time limit for the listener is like, how long are you entertained, and when do you leave? Or again, you can come back to it and all that good shit. So that being said, I've been able to use this to as an opportunity to maybe go a little more in depth with some of that stuff. And today is going to be one of those days because it's kind of a can bring some things together. So in the book, where we've been at is basically my take on 12-step therapy. I call it the 12-step tool bag, and I've changed the words and the titles and things to protect the innocent and all that kind of stuff. There are 1,000 varieties of 12-step programs going on out there. They all, I mean, again, what they have in common is then that, but again, each program has its specific, population, whatever you want to call it, people they're trying to reach. And so version, quote unquote, is much the same as that, and my audience is humanity, because I've really, again, over a lifetime in addictions, mental health, professionally and recovery, personally, for decades, and life and education, blah, all this stuff. I've really, again, I only share this because this is mine, so I get to do that. Just like you get yours, you get your story, you get to do whatever the fuck you want, right? I mean, and so do I. And this is just where it's at today, and it's been this way for quite a while. It may change again someday. I don't fucking know. I don't have a crystal ball. I just know my perspectives have been built on a lifetime of experience, whatever that is, and so have yours. And so, in short, again, what I've come up with is we're dealing with the human condition. And as far as I can tell, there's 8.5 billion of us fuckers running around on this rock. And you know what? There's some shit that I see in every period. And so that's why I look at what we're dealing with as the human condition. I don't know anybody who's immune to a lot of what ails us. Everybody acts and reacts differently and all that kind of stuff, but there's some things like I share with people oftentimes. If I took your head and I took my head and cut the top of it off and looked at it, they look a lot alike. They just do. Now, there's some different shit. There's obviously a slew of experience that goes on that separates us as individuals, and I don't mean to minimize any of that. However, when push comes to shove, DNA, we are human beings. And so there you go. And there's some, again, there's parts of your brain that operate just like mine and just like everybody else's for the most part. Please don't nitpick this, but I mean, if you have to. But the bottom line is it all boils down to that human condition. And we could call that a disease if we want, like progressive, incurable, and fatal. Like, you're going to be a human being until you die. Pretty sure. Like, I don't know anybody who's not been that. And again, there are aspects of humanity that are all inclusive as far as I can tell. Enough of it, shall we say, that learning how to deal with that humanity in the chaos of this universe, there are a set of tools that, as far as I can tell, are effective for everybody. They're not a cure. It doesn't fix everything or all that kind of stuff. But as far as maneuvering through the obstacles of life and all that kind of stuff, the tools are pretty solid because they're just simply built out of like physics, again, garbage in, garbage out, drop a pen, hits the ground, gravity always works. I mean, there's a lot of things that just are. And so that's the challenge as we figure out what those things are. All right, so there you go. Long intro, probably too long because I get on a rant, right? And trying to like sell my goods or whatever you want to call it. And I only do that because again, like I like and which I appreciate the hell out of and so yeah, I'm apt to share that. It's kind of part of the team sport stuff and the showing of gratitude and whatnot. Anyway, shall we? So what we're doing here with the 1, 2, 3 cha 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 is again kind of I've the last 3 days I've read like worth of stuff and kind of touch on what they are. And so now I just kind of want to bring it together for all of us, take a few minutes with that. So this is kind of how I built things and phrased them. So one, we accept we are powerless over the human condition and our lives are unmanageable. We'll talk more about that. Two, we can experience sanity. Okay. And three, make a decision to understand our place in the universe. So what's going on? What is that about? 1, 2, 3 cha cha cha. I look at that again. I've had a topic on this before and a whole chapter based on it before, but I look at 1, 2, 3 as hope, faith, trust. Like I come to whatever situation I have, in the spirit of brokenness or not doing very well or whatever you want to call it, and or powerlessness, as as the lyric is. But that is, and again, we're this first step for me, again, being powerless over the human condition. That's truly what I feel like I'm powerless over. Like there's shit in my DNA, like we were built in the universe's image, like whatever that is, and that's what we as a species. And how that operates is out of my control. I did not create myself, so I can't really fucking like I can't open up my head and do some rewiring. I mean, there's practices to go through that, but I can't fix, if that makes sense. It just, this is the package. And so, and as a result of that, the understanding that my life is unmanageable is just I don't have any control over this shit. Like what's happening out here. I mean, I can throw some rocks at it. I cannot change you. I cannot manipulate things to bow down to my will. Not really, kind of. The universe does what it does. And so I don't get to dictate that. Does that make sense? Anyway. The one thing I want to share about, well, maybe I'll get around to it, wrap around another way. But again, that's what I look at it. I am human to the bone till I die. Okay. And there's a lot of things that go with that, right? But that's perfect in my imperfection, shall we say. Is that a good way to do it? Yeah, because I hate to say I'm like imperfect. I don't know. But it is what it is in the moment. Okay, whatever. We can experience sanity, and that was yesterday's reading. And so what is that? Well, if you can experience sanity, best to define insanity, again, repeating the same mistakes, expecting the same, or do whatever you're expecting, different results. But again, it's in the repeating of things that don't work. And so the sanity is in utilizing a new set of tools so that you can do differently. that I find to be sanity is if something doesn't work, do something else. That's fucking sane. And that's a process. Right? Because we get hardwired, we things, and it's just same thing, same thing, same thing, and you feel like you're in a rut. You feel like you're powerless to get out of it. And we are not. It's not a magic wand. Okay. So welcome to that. And then again, the third step, make a decision to understand our place in the universe. And again, that takes on a lot of, depending on which program you read or get involved with or any of that kind of stuff, that it means different things. But that's just, again, where I keep it simple and I keep it on doctrine and I keep it on religion and I keep it on anything. And it's just simply this thing. And it means a lot of stuff. So, again, with that, without working an entire program in one show, which we're not going to do, is, again, I look at the first three steps there are really the foundational piece of hope, faith, and trust, which are key components to our tool bags, right? And it starts with the hope. Like I start with feeling failure, right? Whatever you want to call that, powerless and unmanageable. Awareness, there, like, it begins with some glimmer of, wow, that 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 might could be different. Like, I don't know, like I hope so, right? Because this isn't working, and it starts with that, and any relief gained by that simple realization can instill some hope. Oh fuck, maybe it can. With the second step, again, the ability to do something different is typically a process. I mean, sometimes you just get, you know, bitch slapped with a 2x4 of life and you fucking make a change. Like it just happens. It's just like, oh, but that's not super comfortable, effective, or any of that kind of stuff. But for the most part, real change and the ability to do that is part of a process. It takes some effort, and kind of the simple tool in my tool belt that I threw out in the book that I've utilized myself or any of that is, again, paper and pen is as well a huge tool. And it started for me, I mean, the first time I went through a second step was some of the effect of like writing down a list of insanity, the shit that you do again and again. It's always fucked up, but you seem to keep doing it again and again. And you just write that list out. Well, now I've taken it from just this fucking chaos on top of my neck and put it out on paper. And there's an awareness that happens with that. It's just part of how the energy operates that way. I put it out on paper, therefore it's there, right? And so noticeable. So what happens is we start noticing that. And if we're paying attention and, referring to the list regularly, paying attention to our life, all that kind of stuff, at least what happened for me, how the tool worked was like the next time I was going to go turn right when I should turn left, I stopped and went, wait a minute, I always turn right here and it's fucked up. Like, how about I just turn left? And like, oh. And so that's where the faith came in, is that somewhere there was an awareness and there was an ability to do something about it. I was there powerless to do something different. And that was the toolbox. That was the tool that gave me the power to do that, the ability to make a choice, whatever that, however we phrase that. And again, any particular naysayers, like, I'm not sure to tell you, like, maybe it's in the semantics or whatnot, but I don't know. That's how it's worked for me so far. All right, let me real quick. Oh, hey lady, how are you? Diary of a Recovered Advocate is in the house. In where are you at? YouTube? Okay. Ooh, saying yes to someone. Okay, I'm gonna read this if that's okay, because you went public. For the other platforms, I struggle with people pleasing in a big way. I'm starting to get over it. Someone told me that saying yes to someone when you want to say no or without a good reason is lying to them and yourself. Yeah, yeah. Okay, agreed. Yeah, it's yeah. If it's not genuine, then it's not genuine. And without like having a big story or therapy session, I'm just like looking at the simple stuff that you're reading right here. And um yeah, people pleasing slash codependency slash, you know, not I mean, I think a lot of that is comes from just like the consequences. Well, if I don't do it, they're going to be pissed off. They're not going to like me. They're going to this, they're going to that. You know, it's playing on head, right? And then you go do the people please thing or whatever because you didn't want to piss them off, and then you feel like shit, or they feel like shit, or it didn't work, like whatever all that is. And all I can say, again, on a very surface, um, a surface level of that is, yeah, lack of worth, right? Letting guilt eat at you. Fuck guilt. Oh my God. Oh, don't get me started on that. Maybe we'll have that for another topic. Maybe I'll have you call in and we can chat about that together in one of these shows. What do you think of that? Anyway, yeah, what was I getting at? It fucking never works out anyway. I mean, that's the thing. And that's where I get at. Like, if I'm dealing with clients that are dealing with shit like that, it's just like, okay, how's that working for you? Right? You always fucking hate when somebody throws that at you, but yeah, people pleasing working. It's like, well, not only didn't it work out, but they fucking have less respect for you because you're a fucking wet blanket and you're a doormat, or whatever. I'm being obnoxious, but I mean, right? If you are doing things that are not good or healthy in the spirit of like, I just don't want to get yelled at, then yeah, you feel like you have control, but you don't. Yeah, all the things. Anyway, yeah, people pleasing. Um, I obviously am cured of that. So is that a spiritual awakening, or is it just because I'm such an asshole? I I don't know. Either or, all the above. But yeah, I have my own things. People unpleasing. I guess that could be a problem too. So anyway, all right. Well, nice segue. But so back into so there's faith. Again, it's just, and even if it's that, if it's people pleasing, um, you know, write it down, whatever, be aware of it. And then again, it's just being aware. Part of this process, again, the spiritual awakening, whatever it is just a lot of it is an awareness game. And when you walk into the lion's den of people pleasing, the light bulb clicks and goes, wait a minute, and that's part of where like breathing and other therapies is just stop, drop anchor, take a breath. And it's like, wait, I always do this. This is what happens. This is not good, whatever. So do something different. And again, as we have success, my experience as well, like some things weren't perfect, you know. I'd notice, here we go again. I'd try something different, and that would also shit can. Like, oops, And so now I had two things that suck. That's all. But grateful, at least it was something different. It was a different thing that sucked or whatever it was. And so then the next time, it's like, don't do this or that. Like, try this thing. Brought different things to the table. I got different something. I'm glitching out. Oh, fuck. Is it just me or is it the technology? I'll do my max headroom. But yeah, it's the faith is built on um, again doing something different, getting different results, continuing on with that. So finding your place in the universe, and for me, that's where the trust comes in. Is I know I don't have a magic wand. I know I didn't just click. Like people say, why don't you just stop doing that? Why don't you just do that? Why don't you just shut the fuck up? Like, why don't you just you can't just, like, again, bad habits are built over time. Good habits are rebuilt over time. They take effort, it takes energy to do it. And that's, again, part of recognizing, for me, my place in the universe is that, again, I don't make poof any of this shit happen, but there are tools. There is a universe that loves me because here we are. Like it keeps happening until it doesn't, and then whatever. But in the moment, that appears to be it. So, and again, the trust is built understanding my place in the universe, and my place in the universe is trusting that every time, once again, every time I do this, at every level of my life and my existence, when I do this, this happens, and it just happens all the time. And so I can own that shit in the understanding that there appears to be some kind of method to the madness. We don't get to know what it is, but again, if we do some things, then the results are what they are, and are like that every time, and we can own that shit. And like I said, then we go out and we trudge the road to happy destiny with a little more confidence. Like, I know things are going to work out. How do you know that, Walker? Well, because they always do. Like, I don't know. But define work out. Again, part of that is in what our perception is, and what the definitions are. Like, what's success? Like, what is making it? Like, what is that? And I'm like, fuck, this one's fucking easy. I should have been dead in the 80s, period. I mean, I did everything to deserve to not be here in the 80s at a lot of levels. Yet somehow, here I am. So when I get up in the morning and I'm breathing, I'm a winner. I won. Here I'm, 40 years later, I am still here fucking making nonsense and doing shit. Like, here I am. And so anything beyond that is gravy. And anytime I have an issue with that, that's me. Because I'm whining or I'm entitled or I'm this or I'm that, whatever it is. The bottom line is, I didn't create this shit. So the fact that I get to show up every day, like, I love that shit. And it just, with that level of understanding my place in the universe, like, I love this shit. It's just like, right? I mean, there's no losing here. Doesn't mean life is unicorn shit and rainbows and everybody's happy all the time. Everything works out. Like, it's all fucking entertainment. But at the end of the fucking day, I put my head down on a pillow And at the beginning of the next day, I wake up breathing. Everything else is fucking gravy. And again, when we set the this is so there's the trust. All right, more in here. Found it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Again, diary. I've found as long as I believe the universe will take care of me, it does. When I spiral, so does everything else. But you know what? The universe is taking care of you, just so you know. Probably working a little harder because you're busy spiraling, crazy bitch. Right? But yeah, as long as you're doing your best, even if you're still learning, which is perpetual. Like last I checked, you stop learning when you stop breathing. I mean, that's maybe there's less things to learn or just nuances of things you've already come across, but this never yeah, it never ends. If it did, we'd get bored and we'd fuck that up, right? I mean, I'd have to throw a wrench in it if there was no challenge in life, no, again, it's all perspective in a lot of way, like it's not bad. And if we did, but it's less than good. I don't know. Fuck. But if it was all the same, we wouldn't have anything to gauge anything. Kind of boring. So, yeah, it's not like I go out looking for bad shit to happen just so I can go fucking be grateful or something. Like I'm not that sadistic. I mean, again, is when things are happen, they just do, and I appreciate them, whatever they are. And again, I know I can trust this. I know I'm gonna go to bed tonight, and I know I'm gonna wake up tomorrow to play again. This I know. I'm only gonna be wrong once. I don't fucking know what happens then, or neither does anybody else, really. Like, it's so fucking what? It's just like, but until I hit the day of wrong, the one that I don't wake up, fuck it. I know I'm waking up tomorrow, so I'm already winning for tomorrow. And so is everybody else. And until they're not. And then, but that's not my place. It's not my universe. It's not my that I'm powerless over. You know, is like when anybody else, including myself, has a last breath. That's totally out of my control. I don't get to dictate that. I get to maneuver with it, for lack of a better way to put it. And I mean, anyway, topics for today as far as that goes. So again, 1, 2, 3, cha cha cha. If you never did anything else except really do this, I don't say this as a sales pitch, but I mean you can get a lot done right here with that. And with the 1, 2, 3 cha cha cha. Oh, wait a minute. What do we got here? Oh, you've come into the Facebook as well. You just bouncing around. Did YouTube suck? I guess I don't know. Used to be afraid of that, but not so much anymore, because you mean I could not wake up and not worry about bills and have peace? How is that? I don't know. I'm trying to understand. Well, what I mean by the only thing I mean by the not wake up, like it's not worrying about bills and have peace. Like I have no idea. Couldn't even tell you what happens next. So I don't know if it's scary or not. I know personally I don't waste a lot of time worrying about what happens, because again, that's only one day out of all of these days when we don't wake up the next day, and I'm like, again, nothing I can do about it. So I'm not gonna burn my today worrying about tomorrow. How about that? And yeah, anyway, so I am going to this up. And you know why? because like you guys know me, I can go on for days, and I do one show at a time. So yeah, that's enough to chew on. If you're watching, obviously you got my digits one way or another. If I piqued any interest and you want to have a chat, hit me up. If you don't, then don't. But keep following, keep checking it out, keep sharing, tell a friend, all that kind of stuff. And yep, keep your eyes out because yeah, we're gonna have we're a visitor. Yep, I'm gonna rattle your cage, diary. Um, and get you in here on the phone for a show maybe next week, maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend. We'll see. But yeah, I'd love to have you in here and chat. You're quite entertaining to follow, shall we say. Um, and you're doing a great job. So I appreciate you. And everybody else in here, obviously, I appreciate all of you as well. You could have been doing, oh, yeah, I'm going to steal this from Brent Smith. If you ever catch a Shinedown show, he'll say something very cliche like this. He's been saying it for 15 fucking years and probably longer than that. But, and I believe him when he says it, is he will, and take a moment and he will address the audience and recognize that you all could have been doing anything else, could have been anywhere else, but you chose to spend it here. And for that, I am grateful. And I really am. Statement. You make your choices. Time, it's a finite resource. You've only got so many of those hours. And if you choose to spend any of that here, then I fucking appreciate that. So thank you all. And like I said, last prop for the website, www.keithmfwalk.com. Go check it out. Links to lots of stuff. A little bit of swag going on. We're doing that. I've got some people that are very important on there that I'm doing some allowing to advertise. So go check their shit out because they're cool people and got cool shit. Links to everything, and obviously you can get all the past shows, get caught up, or just keep hanging out like we're doing here. All right, so enjoy the rest of your Friday, and happy weekend. We will catch you tomorrow live at noon. Real talk. Later, skaters. All right.